Presidential candidate of ADC Atiku Abubakar urges President Bola Tinubu to act on Federal Audit Service Bill. Environmental advocate highlights causes and solutions to Uyo flooding. On the foreign scene, Andy Burnham to become UK's next Labour leader. In sport, Spain to face Belgium in World Cup quarter-final clash tonight. Join me for details of these and other stories in just a moment. Good afternoon and welcome to the News on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. I am Wang Fun Walter. The first report in our second major bulletin of the day is that President Bola Tinubu has declined assent to two bills passed by the National Assembly, citing constitutional powers and flaws in the proposed legislation. The decision was conveyed to the Senate in two letters read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio during plenary. The affected bills are the Raw Materials Research and Development Council Amendment Bill 2026 and the Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply Management of Nigeria Amendment Bill. Tinubu said the Raw Materials Bill contains drafting and structural errors that make it unsuitable for assent, adding that part of the Purchasing and Supply Management Bill sought to give the Institute's regulatory powers beyond its legal mandate, including the authority to inspect and sanction organizations. Following the President's decision, Godswill Akpabio referred both bills to the Senate Committee on Rules and Business for further legislative action. Meanwhile, President Tinubu said the bills may be reconsidered after the identified issues are corrected. Still on the national scene, the presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Atiku Abubakar, has called on President Bola Tinubu to act on the Federal Audit Service Bill, urging him to comply with the constitutional provisions governing presidential assent to legislation. In a statement issued in Abuja by his Senior Special Assistant in Public Communication, Frank Shoaibu, Atiku expressed concern over the delay in the President's decision on the bill, which he said had been transmitted by the National Assembly several months ago. Citing Section 58 and Subsection 4 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, Atiku noted that the President is required to either assent to a bill or communicate his decision to withhold assent within 30 days or could affect public confidence in governance and the effectiveness of oversight institutions. He urged the President to take action on the bill within 7 days by either signing it into law or formally informing the National Assembly of his decision to withhold assent and the reasons for doing so. Away from that, the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) has disengaged its third-party visa application service provider in the United States, directing all travelers seeking Nigerian visas to now submit applications directly at the country's embassy and consulate. The service, in a statement by its public relations officer, Akinsola Akinlabi, said the decision takes effect immediately, assuring that the embassy and consulate have put adequate measures in place to ensure seamless submission, processing, and issuance of visas. He urged applicants to monitor the official communication channels of the NIS and the Nigerian mission in the U.S. for further update on visa application procedures. The development comes amid effort by the federal government to streamline consular services and reduce bottlenecks in visa processing for Nigerians in its diaspora, as well as Section 729, subsection 1C of the Companies and Allied Matters Act KAMA 2020. According to the statement, all companies registered on the KAMA 2020 or any law repealed by the Act are required to include specified corporate information on the business letters. Business letters must also contain the present names or initials and surnames of every director, any former first names and surnames, as well as the nationality of directors who are not Nigerian citizens, while maintaining that all affected companies should review their business stationery and official correspondence to ensure full compliance before the commencement of enforcement. Back here. A resident of Uyo and student of the University of Uyo have lamented the devastating impact of the heavy rainfall and flooding experienced across part of the state capital. While speaking in an interview with our correspondent, some residents described how the flood disrupted We apologize for not being able to bring you excerpt of what they said. They appealed to relevant authorities to improve drainage infrastructure and implement lasting flood management measures to prevent future occurrences. Following the heavy rainfall recorded on Wednesday night, affected areas in Uyo include Abak Road, Ukano Ford, Nkemba Street, Iboko Street, Patakot Street, Ikorepene Road, and the University of Uyo Town Campus Hall 6 Hostel. Meanwhile, following the devastating flood that affected several parts of Uyo after yesterday's heavy rainfall, an environmental advocate is set to identify the major causes of the incident and outlined practical measures to help prevent future occurrences. I am now joined by Evelyn Ayo, an environmental advocate, who will share with us measures to curb the rate of flooding in the state. Welcome to Planet News Hour, Evelyn Ayo.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Can you hear us? Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, can you just... It's natural water absorption. You can wake up today and go into some highbrow areas in this city and realize that a house was erected just a few weeks ago. You do not know if proper measures were put in to checkmate before that structure was erased. And so this rapid development of urban areas also causes a restriction in some of the natural water absorption ways. So it's really caused by just one factor. It's a whole lot of things put together before we are where we are today in terms of the flood.
Okay. While speaking yesterday with some of the those affected by the heavy rainfall, some of them blamed contractors handling road projects. They blamed some of them. I really want to know how much of the flooding would you attribute to human activities, in as much as some of them blamed it on the contractors. How much would you attribute that to human activities, and how much is it linked to climate change?
Oh, that's actually a very, very interesting question, because yes, you're right. Everybody's going to have an opinion right now, and some would say climate change, some would say construction, some would say human activities. And I like to say that all the views are valid. They're valid because right now, not just in Akwa Ibom, there is a high rapid rate of flooding in countries globally. And that is also as an increase in intensity of heavy rainfall, which is caused by climate change. So it exacerbates what you already have on ground. The blocked roads, the construction, and the blocked drainages. So the poor blocked drainages and the human factor, most importantly, makes it worse, because we are clogging our waterways. We are building on our waterways. We are also not desilting our gutters and drainages properly. And talking about them, do we even have proper and adequate drainage the roads we have. This is another thing we should look at. So both views are valid. There is also the factor of where the constructors do a very bad job on the roads. And there are also roads that do not even have drainages and gutters to start with. There are also streets who the citizens are poorly managed to maintain. You put all these factors together, it's valid. Everybody's point is valid right now. Okay. And it's a growing concern. Yeah.
Okay. According to report about the climate change, we've seen that there is an increase in the intensity of extreme rainfall across many parts of Nigeria, including Niger Delta. Is what we're experiencing in Uyo part of this wider climate trend?
Yes, I would say it is. Earlier this year, when the Meteorological Agency released some emergency flood warning alerts, Akwa Ibom was projected to be in the less risk zone for these flash floods. But then there are ripple effects that we're experiencing right now. We are closer to the coastal plain, and then our water bodies have been intercepted. We may not want to accept this truth, but so many of our waterways have been intercepted. We have a current construction going on right now where we are constructing a road a very large road that leads to Lagos Highway to Akwa Ibom, which has blocked most of our natural habitations, which we have been saying we should take it down. And so that also has intercepted majority of our road. And then we have an internal drainage compromise system. There are structures that are erected where they should not be. It's not even morally right, environmentally right for a citizen to be discarding their waste in gutterways. I wonder why they do that. It baffles me because all of us are from homes. And so even if you're not trained, you're not aware, you should know that there are proper places to discard your waste, and gutter is not one of them.
So
it's a larger problem.
Okay. So moving forward, should we be scared? Should we, expect this kind of floods to become more frequent?
Unfortunately, I would say we should, unless and except immediate actions are taken. First by us, yes, by the citizens, clearing their block drainages and waters regularly, stopping to dump refuse into drainage channels, repairing these drainage systems before the peaky rainy season, not waiting for it to happen before. That's what early preparedness means. And also responding to quick flooded areas to protect lives and properties. And to the government, they should build and maintain proper drainage systems. Every location has strategic drainage systems. If you do not create ways for waters, water finds its way. And so we find out what this location looks like. What is the topography of this location? Should a waterway or the drainage system be assigned or be designed to face a particular direction? It helps in managing the flow of the water. We ensure that roads are constructed with effective drainage system, not these poor drainage systems that cannot even carry a certain large volume of water. There is this new recently constructed ring road that leads to the other part of Accra Road and this back road. Few days ago, I was driving past there and I realized that road, as newly constructed as it is, citizens are not living there much. It has started flooding already. So would we also attribute that to the indiscriminate disposals in the gutterways? No. So it's a bigger problem that has to do with constructions and layout first off, before it's been exacerbated by the dumping of illegal discriminative waste. And also we should plant more trees and protect wetlands, because wetlands also help to absorb flood waters. We do not have many of them anymore, especially in Akwa Ibom. We should enforce urban planning. And I'm not even talking about that one. Everybody just wants to buy land and build whatever they want. It shouldn't be so. There should be agencies, which they are on ground, effectively managing how people build houses. In Sena Climes and a couple of countries I've visited, you could go to a particular location and realize that all the houses are built in a certain style. It is not for fun. It is because they understand the topography of the area, they understand the floodways, and they even understand the wind direction.
Okay.
And so we live in houses where we don't even have proper ventilation because we are building against the wind tide. It's same thing with the floods right now. And again, let's invest in climate resilient infrastructure and early warning systems. There are some countries right now that before this happens, they have already put in place in measures where their citizens will be saved first, their properties before the flood passes and they return to their normal homes. And again, education. they should keep educating residents. We may think they know it all, but there's some our parents in the market that don't even know. They feel, okay, there is no waste bin here. Let me put it in the water. And one woman said one time that she put it there because she knows the water from the gutter will take it to the proper place the way should be. And I was asking her, which is the proper place? She doesn't know. She just feels that the water that comes will wash it and go and keep it away. It's better and safer. That is ignorance in play. So if we put more to educate residents on proper waste disposal and flood preparedness, I think this will go a long way to curb the problem we're facing right now.
All right. As Uyo continues to recover from the impact of the flood, it is our hope that the lessons from the incident will inspire strong action from both the government agencies, from the contractors and residents alike to improve drainage systems and also invest in long-term flood prevention measures. Thank you so much, Evelyn Ayo, for joining us on Planet News Hour.
Thank you for having me.
All right. All right, you just heard the voice of an environmental advocate, Evelyn Ayo, sharing insight on the causes of the recent flooding in Uyo and the practical steps to prevent that recurrence. You are listening to the news at noon on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. Let's take a breather and then bring you more stories from our foreign, sport and entertainment scenes. Please do stay with us.
It's rising like the sun and shining forth, sustaining life like never before. It will never set. Planet Radio Station 101.1 Uyo, Nigeria. Don't touch the dial.
Thank you so much for staying with us. If you just tuned to your radio, it's the news at noon on Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. And now to the foreign scene. Andy Burnham has taken another step towards becoming the next Labour leader and Prime Minister after the vast majority of Labour Member of Parliament MPs nominated him to replace Sir Keir Starmer, making him the only declared candidate. If no other candidate enters the race, he's expected to be confirmed as Labour leader next week and take office as that President Bola Tinubu has declined assent to two bills passed by the National Assembly, citing constitutional powers and flaws in the proposed legislation. The presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Atiku Abubakar, has called on President Bola Tinubu to act on the Federal Audit Service Bill, urging him to comply with the constitutional provisions governing presidential assent to legislation. Following the devastating flood that affected several parts of Uyo after yesterday's heavy rainfall, an environmental advocate, Evelyn Ayo, has identified the major causes of the incident and outlined practical measures to help prevent future occurrences. On the foreign scene, we told you that Andy Burnham has taken another step towards becoming the next Labour leader and Prime Minister after the vast majority of Labour members of Parliament nominated him to replace Sir Keir Starmer, making him the only declared candidate. In sport, the 2026 FIFA World Cup quarterfinals continues today as Spain will take on Belgium at 8 p.m. tonight in a highly anticipated encounter. If you have commented and need coverage of your newsworthy event, you can call our newsroom hotline on 0701 896 8395. You can visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at planet_101fm. Also like our Facebook page at Planet Radio 101.1 FM Uyo. The news was edited by Jane Uwa. As we end the news, remember that after a safer community begins with awareness, vigilance, and cooperation. Stay alert, stay informed, and stay safe. I am Wang Fun Walter. Good afternoon.
Planet 101.1 FM. Right at your doorstep.
Africans pray all night. Prayer is not in the success equation. Prayer is in the revelation equation. Decision making is in the success equation. Ghana and South Korea had their independence dates on the same day, the same year. But look where South Korea is. South Korea is by nature not a Christian nation. South Korea by nature are Buddhists. Those in Indonesia and Malaysia are Muslims. It's not about praising God and hallelujah and a great thank you, Jesus. It's about possessing an understanding as to how things work.
This is Planet 101.1 FM Uyo.
Ideas can be life-changing. Sometimes all you need to open the door is just one more good idea, and they usually show up when you least expect them. Planet Radio, an indigenous radio station, came alive when people least expected it. The first ever private indigenous radio station in the great state of Akwa Ibom. Planet Radio is poised to revolutionize radio broadcasting in the Aqua Cross region as an alternative platform of communication, propelling diversity in its wake. Planet Radio is set to nurture original, dynamic, and entertaining approaches to program making with audience satisfaction in mind. Planet Radio 101.1 FM, revolving around you.
Environmental Management Limited. Country people, Ducon Environmental Management Limited get anointing to clean your premises, carry the dirty, go through away for the right place, and evacuate your soak away. And people waiting for your neighborhood no go know what's in they happen. Them they clean school, churches, hotels, hospital, eateries, shopping mall, filling stations, restaurants, cinema, lounges, estate, private homes, and corporate firms. When Ducon Environmental Management Limited clean your place, you have go shout, "Oh la la!" like Oyibo waiting for Fernando Po. If you say you get experience for marketing, you fit go apply as sales executive for Ducon Environmental Management Limited to spread the good news, give business owners, and to bring market come the company. Ducon Environmental Management Limited office there for number 79 Old Ring Road off Abag Road by FCMB for you. You fit call their number for 0803-899-8295. Ducon Environmental Management Limited, your household waste disposal company.
The Financial Services Regulation and Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, and the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, don't join body to warn everybody of the plenty wahala where the illegal financial operators, IFOs, they cause every day, where they spoil and scatterbalance the trust where public people get on top anything where concern money for Obodo Nigeria. Them they advise us to stop to follow and do business with financial money operators when no get license. I beg, confirm the license of those kind company on top these websites them, www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any fake financial people or money scam where you suspect, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
Hey, big news. Ready for Accra? From 28th June 2026, you can now fly Ibom Air direct from Uyo to Accra. That's right, Uyo to Accra and back non-stop. And if you're traveling from Abuja, we've got you covered with a convenient one-stop connection to Accra via Uyo. From business travel to visiting friends and family or a well-deserved getaway, getting to Ghana has never been easier. Seats are now on sale. Buy now and save more. Promotional fares are available for a limited time. Book now at www.ibomair.com or walk into any of our offices nationwide. Ibom Air, your runway to the future.